break this story for you, we are receiving also another statement that I read before from the United States President, which is who has issued a stern warning to Iran. Trump says, I'll actually read the post by Trump. We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He's an easy target, but he's safe there. We're not going to take him out or kill him, at least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Susan Teherani, going back to you. You are at the United Nations headquarters. What is the United Nations saying about this unfolding situation?
Well, I just had a conversation with Russia's ambassador to the United Nations. He came here behind me at the UN stakeout. And in not so many words, he said that Russia tried to mediate some sort of ceasefire and mediation between Iran and Israel and possibly the United States as well with its nuclear issue a few days ago. But it appears that there is no appetite for that. He added shortly after that no appetite, at least from Israel's side. I also had the opportunity to ask him whether or not he could confirm or deny reports that high-ranking Iranian officials have reached out to Russia to try to find a safe corridor to exit Iran should tensions rise. This stability in the government is not as stable as it is, and where the families be granted asylum in Russia. He said he could neither confirm or deny those reports. So those are the things that we just heard from the Russian ambassador. It's important to note that the European Union in unison also says that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They have called for tensions to simmer down, for some kind of negotiation to pull through. But as we're seeing things develop on the ground, and especially this latest post by President Trump, it doesn't seem like there is really an appetite for things to calm down right now. We haven't heard much from the Iranian side in the last few hours.
All right, that is Susan Teherani. She's our correspondent in New York. Susan Teherani, keep your eyes out. I know you are at the United Nations headquarters, so keep your eyes out on what developments will happen in the coming future. Mr. Ahmed Al Ibrahim is a Saudi political analyst and also a U.S.-Saudi relations expert. He's now joining us live from Riyadh. Mr. Al Ibrahim, thank you for making time for us and welcome to the program. There is concerns among many in the United States amid contradictory messaging from the White House and the president, who doesn't want Iran to produce a nuclear weapon, warning residents in Tehran to leave, now saying the U.S. has control over Iranian skies. What do you make of America's stance and Trump's messaging?
First of all, thank you for giving me the chance, and my regards to you and to all viewers. I think the message from the White House is very consistent with what has been happening for the whole time. President Donald Trump has given 60 days. The 60 days has passed. Iran has to come up and front and play game. And he wanted to basically have this kind of negotiation on the table. We do understand that Donald Trump is a very good negotiator. However, also he doesn't want to go into war. But as your correspondent, Mrs. Teherani, said, that something happened yesterday that has been also got off limits, that he had to, come, and cut his trip from G7 and go back to Washington and deal with the security team at the White House. So this tells us that Iran was preparing something, or in the process of preparing something. They don't have the intention, I mean the regime of Iran, they don't have the intention actually to come to the table or try to basically de-escalate. I think they have something that they're gonna put out that is gonna destabilize the region, Israel, probably block the Hormuz Canal, which is gonna play on the economic, world supply chain. So definitely the movement of the United States, it was essential to be done. We all understand that Israel was really desperate in getting the US involved in this war. However, Donald Trump has resisted so many times. And, whatever happened yesterday in the past 24 hours, whether it's a false flag, by the Israelis, by fake intelligence, we've seen this before happen just to get the United States. But what we understand is the US jets are on the way to the skies of Iran, and basically they're going to monitor. I doubt that the US or Donald Trump is intentionally, he wants to do war, or he wants to bomb Tehran or kill any civilians. He's a firm believer that he's anti-war and he shouldn't kill civilians. But as he said, if it takes, he's going to basically retaliate.
Mr. Ali Ibrahim, this is very concerning to me as a host here, because I'm coming to terms with what Donald Trump is trying to say with his messages, because he just posted 2 words: unconditional surrender. He did not indicate who the message is for, but also this other message that he posted a little while earlier, that we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, or he's an easy target, but he's safe there. We are not going to take him out or kill him, at least not for now, but we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. That right there is concerning.
It's concerning. However, let me tell you, there is a model. I think when he said unconditional surrender, that probably means it's the model of what happened in Libya when they tried to pursue the basically nuclear plant, which is basically they dismantled the plant and they had to ship it under the IEAI, and it has to be tracked. So it has to be a full surrender of the nuclear program that Iran is pursuing. This is how I would translate this message. Also remember that Donald Trump does play with the psychology to put pressure on the leaders of these kind of countries and to create anxiety among the people. So today, if the Iranian people, the noble Iranian people, if they rise, probably the chances for them is to turn over the regime is higher than before. That if it's going to happen, I'm saying. But it is a mix of many things that psychologically is the President Donald Trump is playing. So he's putting out all his cards, he's putting out all his threats before actually he fires one bomb on Iran. If the supreme leader comes and basically surrender the nuclear program, and Iran comes into the international community, then it's good and fine. But if they decide to go head and head to protect themselves and to protect the Revolutionary Guard and the people who's been sucking the Iranian people for many decades, I think they have to face their destiny. And this reminds me of what the U.S. troops did to Qasem Soleimani in Iraq, how the Marines and the CIA in a joint operation, they actually probably managed to kill the equivalent to the spiritual leader as far as influence, as far as security. So it is definitely an all bets on the table for Trump to get Iran to surrender peacefully before they start actually bombing anybody in Iran or kill any political figure.
Mr. Ali Ibrahim, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. We are out of time right now, but thank you very much for talking to WION World as One today.